Saturday. Who is not excited about that gig? I think the entire rock and roll community, also the alternative music community.
We are a rock and roll band, a hard rock band. It's in my roots to play acoustic music.
The acoustic breakdown of Rock Saturdays.
The personal stuff that you really don't get to hear on the big stages.
We were part of it, we were victims of it, our friends, and so we were growing up with it.
The concept behind this acoustic Saturday is all about the band.
Man, the Surya brothers, where do I start? I mean, they've been such a valuable asset.
Tempting and fancy for us to be featured on High TV.
Hi, I'm Dan Vendot from the band Sacrament and Ruin, and I am a metal vocalist and guitarist.
Hi, I'm CC from the band Salvage.
Hello, my name is Misha and I'm from the band Whirlwind.
Destruction in your eyes, hidden under the evil smile. A so-called empty heart is out to get the vengeance.
Hi everyone, this is Madisha from Stringfield. So I'm the vocalist of Stringfield Hella Metal band.
Podi palama gasvi puduma hite Avidan magiya dura oba maga randunat mahagastawa mathi nahi
Hi, I'm Yasmin Yusuf, co-founder of Decibel.lk and also host of the Yes Homegrown Top 15. And you can call me a music journalist too.
Rock Saturdays, which is a prominent metal gig for the past maybe 10 to 15 years, maybe more than that. It was initially done by Rock Company and then faded away over time, and Surya brothers kind of introduced it back and revitalized the whole scene in that context.
We play a genre called Stream Metal, and we've been active since the late 90s, and we've gone through a lot of changes, and now we have found our genre, which is Stream Metal, and that's what we do.
I may you forever, babe.
Where do I start about the Sri Lankan metal and rock scene? I think it was back in the early 2000s when I went for my first Rock Company gig and I saw Stigmata, Noah's Ark, Dilan Jayakody and a couple of others. Unfortunately, it stopped after a while and there was like a void, but I think independently, each and every band that was in the scene at the time, they kind of did their own gigs and that was like amazing.
We are a band of 5 boys from Wesley College. So we'll be following hard rock.
Hi everyone, I'm Kisal from Stringfield and I play guitars. So as a band, we have 5 members in our band and we have been playing since I think 2013. I mean, we were school kids.
Actually, I'll talk in Sinhala because all of our songs are in Sinhala. We play Sinhala hard rock actually. So this song, මං කියන්නේ මේ සින්දුව ඇත්තටම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා ඇති ඔයගොල්ලෝ සමහර අය දැකලා ඇති සමහර අය කුණාඩුවකට කලින් මොකද හරිම නිස්කලංකයි.
You know, the personal stuff that you really don't get to hear on the big stages, how the music was written and what the inspirations were, how the band came together. I myself am the lyricist, so you'll probably hear my story and my version of it.
Concept behind this acoustic Saturday is all about the bands. These 5 bands, the hardships that these guys have faced so far along with their journey of could maybe be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the scene. These guys are going to tell their story within the music that is all about their heavy metal. It could be rock, it could be blues, it could be progressive. At the end of the day, it comes to only one genre, which is general, which is music.
Encrypted, forsaken wishes mine, foresee no future, blood that don't materialize, pesticide, incarnate you shall rise, burning in misery, illusion vocalize. ආයුබෝවන් පොඩ සද්ද දෙන්න බණ්ඩ නියමයි ආයුබෝවන්. So hi everyone, we are Stringfield. So as a band we have been in this rock scene for like now 2 years, right? 2 years.
Man, the Surya brothers, where do I start? I mean, they've been such a valuable asset, but they've also kick-started like a gig series that was one of the biggest in the island, and it's something that a lot of the seniors as well as the juniors are so proud of having because it was one of those gigs, man, that made the island's rock and metal scene what it was.
You take my love and I take your stuff.
Came of it was, you know, we started experimenting. We didn't start off as a heavy metal band. You know, when we started off as teenagers, we started off as a classic rock band, and then we moved up from there as more we progressed, as we expanded, and we got to listen to more stuff, and then so did our message. Free metal was born because we had a voice, we had to say something to the society, and at that point, you know, Sri Lanka was very much in turmoil with the war, and so we were we were part of it, we were victims of it, you know, our friends, and so we were growing up with it. And I think basically Sri Metal, the birth of Sri Metal came because of war, and because we had a voice to bring out, to say things about the war. And so the message became heavy, so it needed something more heavy to, you know, take the message. So, and it was in Sinhalese, so that was Sri Metal.
We are encrypted, forsaken wishes minds, foresee no future, blinded, tormented eyes, cast aside a pesticide, incarnate you shall rise, burning in tyranny, illusion walk our lights.
I was about 8 or 9 when I went for my first metal gig, and it was Stigmata's second album launch. My dad was involved with the rock company, and he took me on for more gigs, and I saw Whirlwind, Funeral in Heaven, Paranoid Earthling, Karmic Sulfur, a few other bands I'm not too sure, I can't remember the names, but yeah, they kind of influenced me into picking up the guitar, and later on also inspiring me to become a vocalist and write my own music.
We have been playing for rock and roll. We have played like 2-3 rock and roll gigs and 1 Mosh Scream Rock. Talking about the music we give to our crowd, it's you can call it Sinhala hard rock, because that's what we want the crowd to hear. We have our songs, our own originals. I personally write the songs, and the stuff we talk about in our songs are actually the issues that we think which are really issues in our country.
So we recorded 3 albums altogether, right now recording the 3rd album, 2 albums recorded and released, and among them there are like few singles. So yeah, we did the first ever Sinhalese acoustic song also. That's also for a version, it's an acoustic version for one of our most famous tracks here called Horizon. So yeah, Sri Metal.
Cry out in anger, dispute of soulless pride, boiling in misery, nowhere to run and hide, fearless, powerless, blissful you crooked mind, abandon your enemies, once more one restless ride.
I think there's an artist in every one of us. We just need to find out how we express ourselves in terms. So for me, singing was something that naturally came to me. And when people started reacting to the way I was singing, I thought, oh, this is a way to express myself through art. And I've never looked back since about 15 years ago when I started singing. It's a form of stress relief. It's very therapeutic. If I wasn't in a band, if I was still by myself in my room, I'd still sing and I still want to perform. Fortunately, we have fans who want to see that too.
I need this attention when I fall out blind. We're way through your bleeding. You only need to not ask why. We live in a state of heartache.
For starters, you get to see Whirlwind Acoustic, which is not a site that you get to see a lot of time. Our first acoustic gig was at the Keg, so I think this is our second.
And there are a lot of stories behind our music, like the stuff that were going on in our minds, the problems we faced together, and it's basically the huge journey we came together as a band, and the things we gained, the things we lost. It's basically everything that we faced.
So I think Surya Brothers are a good team who's collaborating very well with the resources, limited resources what they've got, and with the limitations they have to face with. I have so much of respect for Surya Brothers because they're supporting an industry and they're giving, and the new generation a chance to actually shine, which something that, like when we were growing up, when we were part of this industry, 18 years back, we didn't have something like that. When Rock Company came through, it was like, like very much, not that long ago, maybe 10, 15 years, but still, I think these things should be appreciated, and Surya Brothers have so much of support from the community. And because when you do something good like this, you will always have the support of the artist, and the community which is already there. And Surya Brothers is not alone, they're backed up with so many other people. So, and the reason for that backing to come, I guess it's because they're doing a good job. And they're good human beings and good hearts, and who has passion for good music and good taste.
Neurotic powers out to get you around the wheel.
The start of the year, I'm excited to see what else unfolds. I think it's just going to be incredible, and it's also great to see gig series like what the Surya Brothers are doing, MSR are doing, also people like Downtown Pulse, etc., that are really strengthening and becoming like the proper backbone of what we can call our scene.
We live on a stage of heartache.
Acoustic Saturday Storyteller is all about telling the band's background story, how these guys have started off, how these guys have come up so far to start off with everything, giving each other the space, disbeliefs and whatnot. So basically what Surya Brothers wanted to do so far is to get these bands and give a platform to tell their story.
Surya Brothers is picking up well where Rock Company left off, and they're actually been very successful with the gigs that they started off with, and I think they're doing a really good job. I think that's something that is needed, much needed in the country at the moment, to influence and to promote locality, local, originality and rock, metal. These genres were basically, not existent in this country, until, Rock Company and organizations and bands, fans got together and built it up to where it is right now because of the bands, and the fans and the friends.
We are the adversary. We are no mystery. Awaiting your arrival in a lifeless destiny. Forbidden by the fallen in no democracy. Stand by your darkest hour. Fear no hypocrisy.
Acoustic Saturday at the Storyteller is organized by everyone's favorite brothers, the Surya Brothers. We're thankful for them for really supporting the industry over the last couple of years, where there's been a huge surge in rock and roll music, and things are getting tangible, and the rock and roll scene and underground scenes here are really raising the bars and going international as well. So we need a lot of out-of-the-box gigs like this to really, make sure the scene is spread out through the scope and the spectrum of music, and people maybe outside the scene will take notice of how pure and meaningful rock and roll music can be as well.